The grand hall of the Feline Empire was silent. The air was thick with tension as the defeated human general, Eric Valen, was dragged before the throne. His armor was tattered, his face bruised, but his eyes still burned with defiance. King Leonis, towering and regal, sat upon his golden throne. His mane, thick and flowing like a lion's, framed his sharp feline face. His people had called him the Claw of Justice, a warrior who had never shown weakness. Today, they expected nothing less than a swift execution. "General Valen," Leonis rumbled, his voice echoing through the hall. "Your army dared to challenge my rule. You fought bravely, but you lost. What have you to say for yourself?" The human, though bound in chains, straightened his spine. "If you mean to kill me, do it. But know this, I fought not for conquest, but to protect my people from starvation. Your empire takes more than it needs while my kind suffer." A murmur rippled through the feline court. No one had ever dared to speak so boldly before the king. Leonis studied the man carefully. He had faced countless warriors, seen fear in their eyes before delivering judgment. But Eric Valen did not fear death. Leonis turned to his council. The ministers, all feline lords, hissed in unison. "He is an enemy. Show mercy and they will see you as weak," one protested. Another snarled, "Let his blood stain the throne, so none dare defy you again." But Leonis remained silent. He thought back to his father's words spoken long ago. A ruler's strength is not measured by how many he slays, but by how many he spares. "Tell me, Valen," Leonis finally said, leaning forward. "If I let you live, what will you do?" "I will go back to my people and make sure they never fight your kind again." Valen's voice was steady. "I will tell them that the great King Leonis is not just a warrior, but a ruler who values justice over vengeance." A deep growl rumbled in the king's chest. Mercy had never been his way. But perhaps it was time for something different. Slowly, deliberately, Leonis rose to his feet. The court hushed, watching as their mighty king stepped down from his throne and approached the kneeling human. With a flick of his clawed hand, he slashed through the chains, setting Valen free. Gasps filled the hall. Leonis turned to his people. "Strength is not in cruelty," he declared. "True power is knowing when to spare a life instead of taking it." The ministers stared, wide-eyed, but none dared challenge him. Leonis met Valen's gaze one last time. "Go, prove me right." The human bowed deeply, a silent promise of loyalty. As he left the palace, Leonis felt the weight of his ancestors watching him. He had not shown weakness, she had chosen a greater strength. And in that moment, he knew he had changed the course of history forever.